So the movie The American Society of Magical Negroes came out and it bombed. It bombed. Hey man, shouts out to Cobra for the 100 bits. You would have to ask them in the chat. I can't say. The American Society for Magical Negroes bombed in the chat or bombed in the box office. 3.5 out of 10 stars here, 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 57% on Meteoric. And if you remember, I had nothing positive to say about this trailer. This was terrible. This was a terrible attempt at a movie.
Society of Magical Negroes.
It's not even out yet, and people are already judging it. My bad. This is crazy.
I know you can feel their discomfort, Aaron. Watching you walk through a room full of white people was the most painful thing I've ever seen.
Excuse me. Sorry.
And I want to take you to a job interview. There's a recruiting class starting right now, and we got to get you in it.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
I don't really understand.
It's easier to say. What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Shark.
White people, when they feel.
Yeah, this was a super nasty movie. And so some of the actors and the director, whoever, took to Twitter, really a variety interview, and talked about the movie.
When you were doing a lot of the focus screenings.
Yeah.
Test
So like,
screenings, there were black people who were triggered by seeing something that they weren't ready to admit in themselves, that they were like, I've never made space for white people in this way. I don't understand this experience. And then there were black people who were like, this is me. Even last night, I talked to a couple of influencers and they're like, this is me. This is what I've had to do to grow up in my environment. But I love the way it showcases how we're not a monolith, you know? This piece of black art is so singular and like, I think controversial because it's expanding like what black art can be, and it's talking about such a specific side of blackness, such a specific side of survival that I don't know we've seen before. This really like microaggressive like corporate racism, you know, like.
Oh brother. Oh.
Why ain't no way, boy?
Listen to what he said.
I beg your pardon?
Listen to what he said, because this is disgusting. Listen to what he said.
Such a specific side of blackness, such a specific side of survival that I don't know we've seen before. This really like microaggressive, like corporate racism, you know?
We've never seen microaggressive corporate racism before.
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon?
We've never seen microaggressive corporate racism before. I know he's not serious. What is making that noise? Do y'all hear that? Yeah, I don't know what that was. We've never seen corporate racism, mind you, as if people haven't been writing black people in television forever. As if shows like The Cosby Show didn't exist. As if shows like Girlfriends didn't exist. As if shows like, you know, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air didn't exist. As if a plethora of shows, even Blackish, more recently. Even Blackish more recently. Are we to act as if these things did not exist? Or these things are just big revelations? Hey, we just figured this out. We just discovered what microaggressions and racism in corporate America looks like. I don't I don't know who he's trying to get this off on, but because I have a theory. The only reason why he's saying stuff like this is because he's light skinned. And I would even go as far as to say I can without a shadow of a doubt in my mind know that this is a half white man with a white mother. This is Justice Smith. I'm looking at him right now. Justice Smith is an American actor. He's both. His father is black and his mother is of Italian and French Canadian descent. I did not know that before I looked this up. I promise you. His father is black and his mother is of Italian and French Canadian descent. I did not know that before I looked that up. I promise you. I just looked that up. It's too easy. It's too easy to peg. It's way too easy to peg. Justice. Just because you discovered that you were black in 2024 does not mean that others have not discovered that they're black before this. And I don't know who's over there nodding their head and they go, oh my God, yeah, he's so right. He's so right. He's so right. Maybe that was the writer, director of the movie, Kobe Libby. Is that directed by and written by Kobe Libby? I think that's who that was sitting next to him. I can also guarantee you that the person who wrote this movie that was him. Kobe Libby from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I can almost guarantee you that he has a white mother. He is a half black man with a white mother. There it is right there. That's Kobe Libby's parents. That's crazy. It's almost like I feel prophetic almost. I feel prophetic. So because you two learned blackness in 2024. Come on, dog. That's terrible. That's a terrible conversation. Terrible take.
I did like this thing because I've seen it and experienced it so many times. So when the Asian actress An Lee, when you talk to your coworker and he says, "No, she's white," and you go, "No, I think she's white, so she's white, so I'm absolved." Because we've seen that. We've seen when O.J. Simpson was first being pursued by the police, the first 48 hours, white people were apologizing to him. The district attorney was on TV going, "Please, OJ, we love you. You're our hero. Please, can you come by the police station?" In 48 hours, they're like, "Blackie, get your ass here." Same thing with Tiger Woods. When Tiger Woods first burst onto the golf scene, all the white people, a lot of white people, not all of them, were saying, "Well, he's really not black. He's whiter than black, so he's kind of on our team." Then when he fucked up, he's like, "He is."
Yes.
Well, it's conditional, right? It's part of what that idea is, right? And it's like,
Benga asks, how do you tell, Omar, how do you personally tell black mom, white dad? How do I know? There's belief that like moms are the teachers of the culture. They're the nurturers, the one that are going to be with the child more often than not, especially when they're in the child form. So they pass on like a lot of ideals and thought processes at an early age upon them. That's why historically they're the teachers and shit like that because of them being a woman. So when I hear rhetoric or hear things like this, that sound like you just discovered that you're black or whatever the case may be, it just lets me know that you didn't grow up in a household that was very pro-black. And I'm not saying that men historically aren't pro-black. No, I'm not saying that at all. There are definitely powerful men that have been pro-black. But when you create that dynamic, especially at that age, like the age that they are, that's very much I don't see color generation when they start to cross those lines of interracial dating back then, especially when it was definitely more taboo. Love is love. And then they leave the mother to raise the child and then the mother passes down the culture, but they pass down their culture. I mean, that's, it's a white experience. It is a white experience. But that's why I tell y'all, how comfortable do y'all feel about a person of another race raising your child for this exact reason? Again, I do think that a man can uphold the culture in his household, but historically speaking, from my perspective and my experience, that just doesn't happen as often as if it is a black mom. And we can talk about the dynamics between a black mom, white dad. However, it just seems so prevalent. It just seems so prevalent when it's a white mom, black dad. Boy, it's out there.
The on Lee's character is okay with Jason until she strays just the slightest bit outside of making him comfortable, and then all of a sudden that offer of assimilation is revoked. It's a myth.
It's like this.
We've all witnessed that. I have a pass because I'm not you, and then it comes for that person, and then they're thrown back.
It's this promise that palatability will save you, and a lot of us believe that. And I think this movie shows that it's like no, it's like the threshold keeps changing. The definition of what is acceptable will.
But even the way that they're having this conversation is for like the ear of white people, to be quite honest with you, because the type of black person that would watch this movie or would understand the concept, they're talking about surface level things as if it's the most revolutionary or it's the biggest revelation in the world. But to be honest with you, it's not. They are talking about this for white people. And I can already imagine this movie hasn't come out yet, so I probably won't see it. I promise you I probably won't see it. But I can only imagine that this movie is made for white people as well. Like I can bet money on that this movie is made for white people. So they're doing the same thing that the movie is even making fun of. And hey, maybe that's the inception layer of it. But also, this is just a bad movie. Like off rip, I saw American Fiction last year. And American Fiction was a very off-rip satirical version as to what they're trying to pull off. The making things palatable for white people and the white savior complex and all these different things like that. Like, it really touched on a lot of different themes on top of, touching on black issues and in depth and all that stuff like that too. I just think this is a poor attempt at doing this. I want this movie to not exist. Like, let's watch the last couple of seconds of this shit.
Keep changing to keep you down.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay, it's done. Yeah, just two light-skinned brothers with white moms explaining just arbitrary things. And you got the ability to do anything and everything with a movie. You don't even see the irony in what you've created. That is so crazy. In this movie, I can only imagine that this movie is going to have, white people walk out of it saying the same thing that they wanted to get away from in the movie. Hey, I feel for you. I hear you. You're heard. You're heard. You're not just seen. You're going to be making fun of that, and they're going to come out of it saying the same thing. That's not a good movie, man. Comes out in March 15th. Type shit is disgusting.